So, quick overview. We're going to do an update. I'm going to give you a little update on what's going on here at the homestead. I've been watching way too many off-grid people videos. Today we're going to take out the 82 Kz750. It took me about a year. I took about a year off from this bike. I was working on getting the carbs tuned in and the 4-in-1 exhaust this time last year. And then my dad died and I said, screw it, I'm done working on it. I'm just going to work. I'm not even going to work on bikes. I just kind of maintained the 81 440. So, mounted up the 4-in-1 exhaust here. We had the threads in the oil pan were stripped out. So we got a helic oil kit. We redid all the threads and everything. Slapped the carbs back on, put the bike back together. It's running great. My only issue is that this bowl number 4 float bowl gasket apparently has a is just shot. So I ordered a new set of float bowl gaskets and we'll get that taken care of. That's those two bikes. Mr. Truckleton here has been my biggest time suck. I absolutely despise working on cars or trucking engines of vehicles, like big vehicles. But I blew a head gasket, and because of my personality, I decided, even though I don't know really anything about what I'm doing, I figured motorcycle stuff would transfer over to car stuff. So here's where I'm at. I've got the heads removed. I have everything I need so far to put it back together and get it going. I just don't know how to do it yet. So that's where I'm at here. It's summertime. I don't have to go to work for 3 months. So, you know, I'm not in a huge hurry. But we're getting there. I'm going to have to go to a salvage yard and buy some new heads because on both heads, the very first intake bolt snapped off. And I don't want to mess with getting that out. I don't want to spend the time on it, which is one thing. And then the other thing is I could take it to a machine shop, but it would cost me about what it would cost to go down to the scrapyard down the street and buy a new pair of heads. They've got them for about $75 a pop. And it has less miles than this engine does. So this seems like a no-brainer to me. Now, most of my subscribers, I have subscribers. I really need to do this channel better. You guys are interested in the 440. So I started working on, this is Hobbs, the other 440 is Calvin. I started working on this one the other day and then I stopped because I wanted to film some of it. I really didn't do much. All I've got mounted in, I got the first mounting bolt for the engine in, and then the top mounting bolt just kind of there as a placeholder. This engine had a blown rod bearing. Switched the rod bearings out and it turns over fine. Now it's going to run perfectly. I have no doubt about that. So I just need to figure out what I want to do with this bike. Right now I'm thinking about doing, I'm going to go ride. Well, no, I'm not. Maybe I will. I don't know. Let me know what I should do with this. I've got the Calvin and Hobbes theme going on. This is as the bike sits. I could do, we'll talk about it. I'm going to go ride. We'll talk about that. But we're going to get on the 750 today with the 4-in-1 exhaust. I'm going to just do a couple blocks. I'm going to ride around the neighborhood. Not going to be a short, it's going to be a short ride. And with that leaky float bowl, if I don't shut the gas off, like it just leaks, it'll drain the tank in like no time. So I should have the new stuff Friday. I've got some parts Ooh. I've got some parts for the 440 coming in. And I guess that's really what I want to, as I'm hanging out with Callie, since Callie and Calvin are pretty much, I mean, they're running operational bikes, so I'm not too worried about messing with them too much more. My main focus is going to be Hobbs, the 440. I'm going to get that one going up. I want to finish that one before summer is over. So my big thing right now is 3 options. I need to decide what I'm going to do with for carburation. I can do the stock carbs. I have the stock airbox and everything. That's my first option, but it's not my favorite option. Mainly, number 1, performance, and number 2, the tabs for the side covers have been cut off the bike. So I really think it'd just look ugly with the big airbox just kind of sitting there, and the battery and the wires and stuff. And that's kind of why I don't want to do that. So option number 2 is to have do the 2-into-1 single carb conversion on it, which I did it already on Calvin, so I know how to do it. I noticed that 11th Hour Industries is making manifolds again, so like it seems like a no-brainer, but it also seems like the easy choice. I have a buddy that just keeps telling me that, you know, putting a single carb on there is a downgrade, you shouldn't do that. And it's kind of got me thinking that he might be onto something there. Doing like dual VM28s, I think that would be pretty cool. As far as performance goes, that's where I kind of think it's not worth it. It's going to be expensive, number 1. Number 2, it's going to take me a lot more time to get those tuned and figured out. And number 3, it's a 440. It's not super fast motorcycle bike. I'm going to drive to the bar today and I don't feel like getting on the 750. That's what it is. It's a city bike. So let me know what you think what you think I should do with that. Today, I don't know, I need to go get some food. It's almost noon and I have yet to eat today. So I'm going to hopefully get back home, get this video, play with the editor, see if I can get this video posted, and then I'm going to go eat. But this afternoon, I'm hoping that I want to get the engine completely mounted in the 440. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go down this little stretch of Seneca is where I like to go real fast. And then I'm going to head back. But I want to get that engine mounted up. After I get the engine mounted up, I think that will help me kind of decide what I want to do. So my biggest things I need to figure out right now are going to be the exhaust and what I'm going to do for carburation. Man, this bike is so much fun. Sometimes I forget that it's a 5-speed and I try and shift into 6th gear because I've been riding the 440s too much. Oh, I went from the stock exhaust to the 4-into-1 on here, and it's just kind of adjusted the power band a little. Like, all the fun starts after $6,000. Like, a lot of fun happens after $6,000. stupid old man on that truck. I wanted to just turn around and go back the way I came, because that's my go fast road, but I'll just make a big loop. So hopefully this summer I'm going to try and document the build. I think I've got a little tripod and the camera. I can probably set it up in the garage if I get some better lighting in there, or just move the bike outside and work on it out there. Like I said, the engine is completely rebuilt, so I shouldn't have any issues there. I mean, get the carbs on, figure out what I'm going to do with carbs, get the exhaust on. I need to do the brakes on it. I need to mount up the, what is the word I'm looking for? The chain. Because I've converted all my 440s. What are you doing? I've converted my, yeah, the belt drive is no longer on any of those bikes. They are all chain driven. I run the 530 chains on them. You can get the really cheap, I mean, so there are two words that you shouldn't like put together, cheap and your drivetrain, but like you can get the DID roller chains, just your standard 530 roller, and I mean, I'm a daily rider, and that thing lasted me, I'm at the very end of life on the one. It lasted me like 3 years, I want to say, which is pretty significant. And I mean, it didn't cost much. The whole system, like sprockets and chain, was like, I want to say $80, $90, something like that. It was under 100. Which I think is pretty considerable. I just would not recommend getting anything that is, I would not recommend getting anything that is made in China, like just no-name China stuff. That stuff will break very easily. I had when I was running, this is converted to a 530 as well. When this was a 630 chain, those 630s were really hard to find. And it was hard to find one reasonably priced. So I ordered a no-name from China, and within a week that thing snapped on me. I was going about 85 down 96. Scariest thing ever. Like, my chain guard was all mangled up. If I didn't have chain guard, I probably would have had some serious damage. Like, oh man, that's scary. So that happened early on, and when I first started riding. So always buy quality, and it doesn't, I mean, quality and expensive don't have to go together. Like I said, you know, that 440 is not, they're not putting out a ridiculous amount of power. So the 530 chains, the standard roller chains, if you keep it lubed up and tensioned correctly, they'll last quite a long time. And I'm sure you could spend more money and get one that lasts practically forever. But, you know, do whatever you want. I've had really good luck with the standard roller on that one. No way in hell I'd run a standard roller on like this bike though. They just rip it to pieces. Or, I mean, it wouldn't last very long. So, man, it's about a year ago, no, 2 years ago, I wrecked this bike, and that's what kind of propped me into like doing the am I running out of gas?